Warning, your business is designed to make you fail.
Okay, let's dive right in. So, have you ever had that brilliant, world-changing idea? You know that feeling, right? That jolt of pure excitement mixed with, well, just a little bit of terror. Because you know that between you and that incredible future is this huge, foggy sea of uncertainty. Well, today, we are breaking down Eric Ries' The Lean Startup, which is basically your map, your GPS for getting through that fog.
I mean, that's the question that just grabbed me from page one. What if failure isn't just something that happens to you? What if the way most people try to build things, what if it almost guarantees it? It's such a wild thought, right? But it's the absolute core of this entire book.
Exactly, and we're going to unpack that completely today. First, we'll take a little trip to the startup graveyard to see why it's so crowded. Then, and this is the good part, we'll reveal the secret weapon, a deceptively simple learning loop. We'll break down every single part, building the right first thing, measuring what actually matters, and learning how to make the toughest calls. And we'll wrap it all up with the lean startup mindset that can honestly change how you approach, well, pretty much everything.
All right, Section 1, Why Most Startups Fail. Welcome to the land of lost startups. It's a sad, quiet place, but man, we have all seen it happen.
Oh man, this is painfully true. You get an idea, you lock yourself away for a year, maybe more. You burn through your savings, you work 80-hour weeks perfecting every tiny feature, designing the most beautiful interface, and then comes the big launch day. You hit the button, you pop the champagne, and you wait. And then, you hear it. Crickets. Nothing. And you get that sinking feeling in your stomach as you realize you just spent a year of your life building something nobody actually wanted.
Right, and it's so important to get on the same page with Ries's definition of a startup, which you see here. It's not just two people in a garage with a ping pong table. He defines it as any human organization creating something new under conditions of extreme uncertainty. That could be a solo founder, a small nonprofit, or, and this is the part that blows people's minds, a dedicated team inside a massive corporation like General Electric. They call those people intrapreneurs. The principles are exactly the same. And this, right here, is the fundamental shift in thinking. For decades, business schools taught that the battle was against your competitors, who has more features, who has a bigger marketing budget. But Ries argues, no, that's not the real enemy. The real enemy is uncertainty. You're in a thick fog, and you don't even know if the map you're holding is for the right country. The challenge isn't just building a product, it's figuring out if you can build a sustainable business around that product.
Wow! Just think about that for a second. This quote from the book is so powerful. The question isn't, can this product be built? Because, with modern tools and global talent, you can build almost anything you can dream up. The real multi-million-dollar question is, should this product be built? And even more importantly, can we build a sustainable business around it? That's the entire game.
So if that old way, the build it and they will come model, is completely broken, what's the alternative? This brings us to Section 2, the secret. This is the new way to navigate that fog of uncertainty.
And at the very heart of the entire lean startup methodology is this right here, the build, measure, learn feedback loop. It looks so simple on the slide, just 3 words, but this little cycle is completely revolutionary. Instead of one giant, risky launch, the goal is to go through this loop as quickly as humanly possible, over and over and over again.
Okay, a loop. I get it. Build something, measure what happens, learn from it. But how does that actually help? It sounds a little bit like just doing stuff, you know? That is the perfect question because it gets to the heart of it. It's not just about doing stuff. Think of it less like a checklist and more like a steering wheel. You're driving through that thick fog we talked about. You can't just point the car in one direction and floor it for a year hoping you end up in the right city. No, you need to make constant, tiny corrections based on the 10 feet of road you can see right in front of you. That's what this loop lets you do.
The book uses this brilliant metaphor. A startup isn't a rocket ship that you build perfectly on the ground, point at Mars, and press a giant red launch button. It's an engine of growth, and that engine needs constant, obsessive tuning. Each time you go through the build, measure, learn loop, you're making a tiny adjustment to the fuel mixture, to the timing, trying to get that engine to run a little bit faster, a little more efficiently, and in the right direction.
And the whole point of all this tuning, the fuel for that engine, is a concept Ries calls validated learning. This is so crucial. You're not just building things to see what happens. As the book says, that's a plan that's guaranteed to succeed at seeing what happens. No, you are building to scientifically test a specific hypothesis. You're trying to turn your assumptions, your guesses, into hard facts. We believe customers will pay for this feature. Did they? Yes or no? That answer is validated learning.
Okay, I'm with you. The goal is a loop that gives us validated learning. So that brings us to the first step on the slide, build. What are we actually building? Are we still building that big, perfect product, just faster in smaller pieces?
Not at all. And this is probably the most famous and the most misunderstood concept from the entire book, the minimum viable product, or MVP. And I want you to look at this definition really carefully. The goal of the MVP isn't to be a smaller, crappier version of your final product. Its singular goal is to collect the maximum amount of validated learning about your customers with the least amount of effort. Its whole purpose is to get you into that learning loop as fast and as cheaply as you possibly can.
Wait, hold on. Any additional work beyond what was required to start learning is waste? That's crazy. So you're telling me you want me to launch an unfinished product on purpose? A product that might be buggy or missing core features I've dreamed about for months? That feels so wrong. It goes against every creative instinct I have.
It feels completely wrong, I get it, but it is exactly right. And let me give you a perfect example from the book that shows this isn't just for scrappy startups. Let's talk about the SnapTax story. This came out of Intuit, the massive publicly traded company behind TurboTax. So back in 2009, the idea of doing your entire tax return on a tiny smartphone screen seemed absolutely absurd. But Intuit empowered a small internal entrepreneur team to explore it. Did they spend 2 years and millions of dollars building a perfect, flawless app? No. They built the simplest possible version for a tiny, hand-picked group of users. The book says they literally sat down with the very first user and watched them struggle, learning immediately what was confusing and what needed to be fixed. They just kept iterating based on that direct feedback, and SnapTax became a huge, multi-million-dollar success. No way. A giant corporation like Intuit moved that fast? That's amazing. They literally acted like a tiny startup. Exactly. And it all comes back to this quote, which just completely reframes the entire idea of quality. If we do not know who the customer is, we do not know what quality is. Your idea of a high-quality, bug-free product with a million features might be completely worthless to a customer who just wants one specific problem solved simply. The MVP helps you find that customer and learn what quality actually means to them.
Okay, so you've taken the leap, you've built your MVP, you've put it out there, and now the data is starting to trickle in. This brings us to the crucial second part of the loop, measure. Because honestly, building an MVP is totally pointless if you don't measure the right things. The book makes this absolutely critical distinction between what it calls vanity metrics and actionable metrics. Vanity metrics, as you see on the slide, are the ones that make you feel good but don't actually tell you anything about the health of your business. We got 10,000 total signups. Great, but how many of them are actually using the product? How many came back a second time? Actionable metrics, on the other hand, show clear cause and effect. We launched a new checkout button, and the conversion rate for new users went up by 15%. Now that is something you can actually make a decision on. You can learn from that.
This is so true. Complacency is the silent killer. It's so easy to get a little bit of early traction, see a big vanity metric like total downloads go up, and you start telling yourself, we've made it, we're killing it. The book is crystal clear on this. You have to be brutally honest with yourself and assess where you really are, not where you hope you are.
Wow, of all the quotes in the book, this is the one that really hit me. Ries says to remember that metrics are people too. Every data point, every click, every sign-up, every user that churns, that's not just a number on a spreadsheet. That's a human being, a person, making a conscious choice about your product. Thinking about it that way, it just changes everything. It makes the data feel so much more real and important.
All right, so we've built our MVP. We've measured what happened using real, actionable metrics, not vanity ones. Now we get to the final and maybe the scariest part of the loop, learn. This is where the rubber meets the road, and you have to actually make a decision. This is the moment of truth. After each and every trip through that build, measure, learn loop, you face this fundamental choice. You look at the data and you ask, are our core assumptions being proven correct? Are the actionable metrics heading in the right direction? If the answer is yes, you persevere. You double down and keep tuning that engine. But if the data shows your core strategy is fundamentally flawed, you have to make the hard, courageous choice to pivot, which is a structured, strategic course correction, not just a random change of plans.
But how do you know why the numbers look the way they do? I mean, the data might say only 5% of users are using our new feature, but it doesn't say why. How do you dig down and get to the real learning?
Great question. And the book offers a brilliantly simple but powerful tool for this, borrowed from the Toyota production system. It's called the 5 whys. Instead of just fixing the surface level problem, you ask why 5 times to dig down to the root cause. Okay, let's try it. Let's say a new feature crashed the website. First question, why? Because a specific server overloaded. Okay, but why did that server overload? Because it got way more traffic than anyone expected. And why didn't we expect that traffic? Because the new feature was accidentally pulling 10 times the data it was supposed to on every page load. So why was a flawed feature like that allowed to be deployed to customers? Because our automated testing suite doesn't check for that kind of excessive data load. Okay, the fifth and final why. Ultimately, why is our process like that? Because we never prioritized building that kind of test, since we've always been more focused on shipping features as quickly as possible. And boom, you see? We went from a server crashed all the way down to our entire development process has a systemic blind spot.
And you can see immediately why this is so hard to do in practice. This process requires a huge amount of trust and psychological safety. It's not about finding someone to blame, it's about finding a flaw in the system. And as the book says, this can uncover some deeply uncomfortable truths about how your organization actually works. You absolutely need management to champion this, to create a blame-free environment, or it will just never, ever happen. It becomes a cultural foundation.
Okay, and that need for trust, that focus on systemic problems, that brings us perfectly into our final section, the lean startup mindset. Because the build, measure, learn loop, MVPs, the 5 whys, at the end of the day, these are all just tools. The real, lasting transformation happens when you adopt the underlying philosophy.
Right, if I had to boil this entire book down to one single sentence, this would be it right here. Treat every single aspect of your venture as an experiment. Your product features are an experiment. Your pricing model is an experiment. Your marketing channels, your ad copy, it's all one big experiment. And the goal of every single one of those experiments is to achieve that validated learning.
And if everything is an experiment, then the concept of failure takes on a whole new meaning. It's no longer a judgment on you or your abilities. A failed experiment is simply data. It's an essential, critical learning opportunity that tells you what not to do. It's not a failure, it's a finding. Setbacks become the signpost that actually guides you toward eventual success. It completely reframes the entire emotional roller coaster of building something new.
So we want to leave you with this final thought, this challenge. Forget the grand 5-year business plan for just a moment. Look at your big idea. Based on everything we've talked about, what is the absolute smallest, simplest, fastest experiment you could run, maybe even in the next hour, to start that build, measure, learn loop turning? That's the first step, and it is the most important one you will ever take.